What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. Hey, everybody, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you can hear the sound of my voice, let me know by putting your city and state in the chat. Come on in. Listen, I know y'all saw the episode, child. It's hot as fish grease. Come on in, come on in. Let's see. Hello, hello. Make sure that you guys can hear me over here. What's up, Linda Gamble? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Little Rock, Arkansas, Atlanta, Georgia, DR, Maryland, St. Louis. What's up, North Carolina? Come on in. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Florida. What is up? I see Atlanta again, Baltimore, New Market, Alabama, I think. Atlanta, Georgia, Beaumont, Texas. Welcome. New Jersey, Canada. Hey, girl. Chicago is in the house. Welcome. Come on in, guys. We're going to talk about it. Anyone you see with a blue wrench, that little wrench behind their name, Nola Darling, those are our mods. They're here to make sure that we have a good time in the chat, okay? 207 of you are watching. I ended up going live tonight because y'all know I usually have my open panel after I give you a formal review, but I'm going to drop the formal review tomorrow. We're going to talk about this tonight. I see a lot of you that I haven't seen in a while. What's up? What's up, Carolyn? The review hour is always here supporting. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get started, y'all. This is an open panel for you guys to discuss things. I saw KeKe in my Facebook. She stopped through. A lot of you were adding her. Hey, Cookie from the Shy. I saw a lot of you adding her with your comments, and she stopped through and she just put a wow emoji on the chat, on the live chat. So she may be watching. I don't know if she'll come in and talk, but she may be watching. Also, her mom may be watching because this is a big episode, right? I just want to specify that this is for entertainment purposes, right? Let me get my banner up. Put my little ticker up. So this is a discussion about Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys will come up and you'll share your opinions about the episode we just saw, which was called Not About to KeKe and HaHa. All opinions are alleged, okay? This is just for fun and entertainment purposes only. However, things can get real sometime, but this is the most important part of this. We are grown folks. So we're here to have a grown folk conversation about reality TV, something we saw. And even though the people that we saw this television show is edited for our entertainment, we know that things don't happen in the exact order. We also know that things don't, they might put a little stank on things because it's, it's TV, right? It's TV. So I just want to put that out there. But we're going to talk about it. Let me get this banner off and get this up. Okay, hello, guys. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the chat, I should say, and welcome to my show. Okay, so let me make sure I have my book so we can talk about everything that went down. I had to do some really quick pictures of the episode, but it got really intense. Here's KeKe. Everybody saw this little interaction go down earlier. It was just basically a continuation of what happened last week, right? KeKe is hot, and she's hot at Marceau, who screamed out, "Drug test her mother effing ass." And she said, "Do it, okay? Do it if that's what you want to do." And then she said, "If I'm going to take a drug test, I want your ass to take a lie detector test, okay?" So that happened in this scene. And then, KeKe's husband, he rounded that corner for Marceau. Hey, everybody. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Come on in. KeKe's husband rounded that corner for Marceau because he was coming to get him. Okay. He was sitting there enjoying himself, smoking a cigar. And then, they basically pushed KeKe out of there. I'm happy that Melody and Stormy walked out with KeKe, though. Listen, again, this is grown folk conversation. I have been at picnics and parties and things where shit can get a little intense. Let's face it. Things get intense. And sometimes you see someone get kicked out the party. There's no one there to really, talk to them, calm them down, that kind of thing. Try to mend fences between both parties. That person might be taking that long walk back out. But her and her husband, KeKe and her husband, ends up walking out. Melody and Stormy followed behind her. And Mel just said, girl, that was a shocking thing I just witnessed. Like, I literally was playing cards. I looked up and there's a whole drink in Tisha's face. Like, did she hit you? Did she touch you? And she was like, no, she didn't touch me. She was like, well, damn, she had to have pushed you, said something to you, right? And she said, no, she didn't say anything to me. And Melody was like, KeKe, you were wrong, period. You were wrong. And she let her know, at no point is it okay for you to, put your hands on anybody, throw anything at them, do anything to them that is a threat to their physical person. And KeKe was hurt. You could see like her eyes kind of wet up a little bit. It kind of welled with tears. If y'all saw KeKe's eyes get a little teary, put a 2 in the chat, because I was like, she's hurt. She's very hurt. Her husband stayed out of that interaction with her and Melody. But KeKe stood her ground too. She was like, I wish I wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. I'm not a robot. I feel like they've been coming after me. And in that moment, it was just something that happened. That's how KeKe explained it. But she was like, at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a punk. I'm not going to sit here and let her and Marceau play me like this. And if you guys listened to my last review, I told you that it felt like Marceau and Tisha may have been purposely antagonizing her. And could she have walked away from the scene? I don't know. I thought that she was asked to stay in the scene because of the way things happened. Her husband saw Tisha hug him and walk away from his wife. And he went over and hung out with the fellas. Like, okay, let me let y'all get this scene on. She sat down, and that's the energy that came out, because we get a flashback where she was at Tisha's or Wanda's potato party where they were coming after her too, and she was able to maintain her composure. But it just felt like to me, like I said, that this was a moment where KeKe was trying to redeem herself with the Scotts. And by that, I mean, Tisha asked her to get the information. At least that's what KeKe said in the last episode. She was asked to get the information, and now you're coming after me and saying you're not allowing me to share with you what you asked me to do. That's how it felt. But anywho, y'all gonna get up and talk about it, okay? I'm gonna let y'all come up and talk about it. I know that chat is going. A lot of you said that you could see that she was hurt and that she did have tears. See her eyes right there? She was a little teary-eyed, but she didn't let nothing fall down her face. She was definitely teary-eyed though. Check her out. Look at her. Oh, I was hurting for her. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was like, she's probably really embarrassed. She probably, this is just not what she wanted. She didn't want this to happen for her to be walking out the door like this, okay? Y'all keep hitting them likes. Thank you to all of my mods who are here doing this late night sesh with me. Okay, let's see what we got here. 471 of you are watching, so please hit the like button, please, and thank you. If you would like to talk in the chat, I do have a little provision there that says you need to be a subscriber for at least 10 minutes, and then you can chat away. You can come on up too. So thank y'all for everyone who is in the chat who has subscribed. I appreciate you so much. Okay, let's move on with the next comment. So after, they have this heart to heart, I think there was also a moment where Amin, KeKe's husband, said, listen, he doesn't appreciate the disrespect. Marceau went too far, and he doesn't play them games. Like, he will whoop Marceau's behind. That's how he ended that, okay? And then we get a scene from Tisha and Marceau and Kimmy, because Kimmy's asking, what the hell happened? She in here trying to get these hamburgers ready, and y'all out here acting a plum monkey, right? And Tisha's trying to tell her, I don't know what happened. She tried to hug me, and I got up and said, excuse me. She said, I hugged Amin. I love Amin, okay? I really like him, but me and KeKe are done. We cannot be friends anymore. We cannot be cousins. I don't want to be cordial. I don't want to be anything with her. And I think Marceau comes in and said, listen, at the end of the day, KeKe is angry because she believes she should have Tisha's place. Now that was a lot of things to say, okay? But they're basically saying what they've been saying for a little while, including Wanda, that Tisha is jealous um, excuse me, Tisha. KeKe is jealous of Tisha. That's the story they're putting out there, along with she is not completely, sober. She's not completely sober out there. So, she's sitting there letting people know, and she said, I don't have to change my shirt. They asked if she needed to change her shirt. She said, no, she good. She said she barely had one on anyway. So that's how that ends. They go back out. Well, I should also say that Kimmy said if she would have known that KeKe and her husband were going to come to the party like this, that Maurice would have never invited them. So she wanted them to know that that was not her expectation, and she wouldn't have invited them. Okay, so let's get on to the next, y'all. Next picture is we got Kimmy getting a new car. Maurice had Jalen pull it up in the backyard. That was kind of cute. Then we have them all sitting. All of the party goers, including Tiffany, is here. And they're talking about what happened. And Tiffany basically tells Tisha, you can't fight with somebody who ain't got nothing to lose. So both Tiffany and the Scotts at this moment are really putting KeKe on the bottom of the barrel. You feel me? Like they're really saying this girl's just not worthy of anything. It was that was an interesting scene, but she's here with her baby. Of course, Lewis is at work, so she is just there. She's partaking in a conversation, but didn't see anything. In her confessional, she actually makes a comment where she says, I'm not sure what happened, but whatever it was real, because Marceau is taken up for his wife, and he never does that. So basically, it sounded like she was dogging Marceau in a sense, like we can assume that something happened. Otherwise, Marceau would just let the girls go at it. But if he's involved, it's because he's trying to change the narrative or turn the story another way. And he did. He spent the whole time talking about how he knows KeKe's not well. Tisha's cousin, Courtney, she was like, I am tired of you, Marceau. In fact, she was the only person batting for KeKe at this moment. She's like, cut it out. And you could have handled this differently if you felt this was really what was going on. At the end of the day, joking or making these jokes or, antagonizing her is not the way to go. And she was really the only person sitting at the table at that moment who stood up for her. Then we hear Stormy say, hey, I don't think she's on drugs. I think that she's going to the clinic. Like she said, she's still in recovery. And Marceau says, have you ever seen anyone do drugs? Okay. Have you ever seen anybody? She said, yeah, my friend. And then he says something else slick. Stormy gets up. She is teary-eyed. She's hurt by what Marceau said. Marceau does apologize. He goes over and he tells her, listen, I didn't realize it was that hurtful for you, and I shouldn't have said it. I was wrong. I thought I was making a joke. The shit wasn't funny. I recognize that. I apologize. They also have a conversation at the table as a group about women weaponizing the word bitch against men and what the expectations are. And basically they ended it with, once a woman is saying those kind of things in front of their men, their husband or their boyfriend, you are looking for your husband or boyfriend to fight the man you're saying you have a problem with. So he said that there was a whole conversation around that. I'll let you guys discuss it when you come up. Then we have the men. This is Martell, Chris Fletcher, and Courtney. They all meet up at the gym. And they rehash everything that went down at the party for Courtney. Courtney says, I don't like Marceau, and I don't mind if she called him a bitch. Okay. Martell jumps in and said, listen, in confessional, he said, I kind of agree with Courtney, but at the same time, we want to keep that kind of mess down. But they all chit chat about it. If y'all saw it, y'all can come up and talk. Last scene, we have Melody. She meets up with KeKe and Amin. They are at the storage shed getting things for their new house. Melody shows up just to check in on KeKe. She said, I text Tisha to make sure she was good. I want to make sure you're good. And also just find out, is there any way you can mend things? Like, what is going on with you? She also asked her if she would consider going to counseling. KeKe said, I am in counseling. It's just that things really just came to a head when I was in front of them. And then Melody finishes it with asking if she would take a drug test to prove to everybody who may be concerned or curious, because a lot of people who were at the table after she left was truly questioning whether or not she was okay. And that was the cliffhanger. Okay, guys. So y'all can let me know what y'all think. I'm about to drop the link. Let me ask us, just go through a few of these comments real quick. Dan Pam said Mel was dead ass wrong for a drug test. I said what I said. This is serious. Okay. Listen. All right. I knew some of y'all was going to come out and say this, and that I don't have a problem with it. I wanted to read your comments. What I do want to say is, for me, because I'm going to ask everybody who comes up how you rate this episode. I want to know exactly what you thought of it. I've said this already, that season 6b is coming in hot for me. It's coming in hot for me. And I actually like the fact that they are making, the producers or whomever are making the cast engage each other. We have seen them act independently, talk about each other independently, in their little circles and groups for 2 seasons. And now we are getting to see them get back together and have these hard conversations in front of each other. Like, listen, I'm going to ask you this to your face. This is what happened at the party. You screamed out, I'll do that, but you take a damn, lie detector test. She said it again in that last part of the scene. Let's see. Someone said, yeah, Mel was out of line and used poor judgment. Okay. You guys all have a right to feel how you feel. I personally am okay because I'm watching it as a show, and I understand it's reality TV, but I'm watching it as a show too. And I really feel that this has been the most cohesive that we have seen this group in 2 years. And it's been really awkward to watch them talk around each other, talk online to each other. I like that they're not talking online to each other and they're keeping it on the show. Personally, that's my feelings. What else do I like? Yeah, that's where I am with it. I like that it's on the show and it's not online. Even though I realize that's not true for everybody. I know Wanda's been saying some stuff, but I really don't watch Wanda. I listen to some of the things you guys say when you put it in the Facebook group. But Tisha, Marceau, they seem like they are keeping it offline. Stormy, she's keeping it offline. Keep it on the show. That's where we want to see the energy. We're going to see energy from Tisha next week. It looks like Melody's going to ask her a couple of questions. And Tisha said, I don't want to talk about this shit. She gets up. So anywho, let me get y'all the link, child, so we can get it going. Woo, this chat is moving fast. Okay. All right. And you guys can come up and you can share your honest opinions about the show, because we are all grown and we are watching grown folks talk about their situations. Okay. Talk about their true real life situations. And right now it's KeKe's real life situation. Previously, it was Melody's real life situation. KeKe is really, in my opinion, brave for bringing it to the show. She said that she was comfortable with it. She said it for a long time. That people have said pretty much any and everything about her. She's used to it, but she feels like she could be, better served if she starts sharing her story on this platform. So you guys see it. It's pinned at the top. Join the panel. Come on up. Tell me what y'all think, what y'all feel. 661 of you watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Go ahead and hit the like button, please. Keep hitting that like button until it matches the number of you watching. If you're not able to talk in the chat, it is because you are required to be a subscriber for at least 10 minutes, and then you can come on in and talk in the chat, okay? But let's see. Let's keep this party going. All right, y'all. We'll bring you up. Okay, Gail. I feel like I talked to you before, Gail. You can let me know.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. Well, welcome to the platform. For whatever reason, I think I saw your name maybe in the comments.
You probably seen my name.
Okay. But we have Gail first, and I'm going to talk to Ty, and then Justice. Welcome back, Miss Justice. Glad to see you. Okay. Let me know your thoughts on everything, Gail. Okay. And feel free. Nobody's being punished for anything. You guys say what you feel. First, I'm going to ask you, though, what do you rate the episode?
I actually gave this. I gave this episode a 10 tonight.
10. Okay.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
did give it a 10
Okay.
tonight. But I feel like I'm talking to the TV because I really wanted Amin to hit Marceau. I wanted him. I want somebody to hit him. Somebody just to hit him. And then I was really upset with the way Kimmy was acting. I don't I don't like Kimmy.
Okay.
And one of the things that Maurice made a comment to say is that Amin should have told her not to act that way, or he should have talked to KeKe and told KeKe you need to stop acting that way. Well,
Okay. A lot of people said that last week. A lot of people said that on my on the panel too.
well, a lot of people on the panel could say that, but he can't say that because he don't protect Kimmy.
Honey,
He don't. He talks. He doesn't protect her either. But one of the things I would say about the actual show, I know a lot of people were upset the fact that Mel told her to about the drug test, and it was kind of take when I heard her say it, and she said, "I have one with me now." That took me back too. But I do think that Mel was saying that because that's all they're pushing. She's still on drugs. She's still on drugs. She's still on drugs. They're not saying anything else. It's that she's on drugs. So I think the way it was probably edited came off kind of insensitive. But I think Melanie was trying to say, let's clear your name so that they can't keep pushing this narrative. That's what I got. I may be wrong, but that's the way I saw it. And I kind of wanted her to take it too, because I'm one of them people too. Like, okay, you keep saying that. I'm going to take, since you keep pushing this, I'm going to take it out your mouth. And then what are you going to say next?
and you know
I,
you're
that
right.
I,
A lot of people have been saying that, including on social media. Social media is also divided and saying, I think she's still, and others have been saying she's not. And we've had people come up and share stories about, how hard that can be on people. One of the things I'm going to say again, I appreciate everybody's comments. Y'all can keep talking about it. It's perfectly fine. KeKe has been really strong in saying and communicating on almost every platform, I am okay. This is my journey. This is how I'm going to share my
yeah,
story. And she's felt okay about it. And some people have felt like, yeah, look, some people have felt like this is going to make her relapse and she's going to do. She's come right out and said exactly that. She's confronted all of those comments. I'm not going to relapse. I am fine, guys. I live in a small town. Everybody is kind of aware. I have, that sensitivity, that part of that conversation, it doesn't bother or affect me anymore. This is a conversation that's been ongoing since season 5.
forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, season 5 when she went to that party, right? So yeah, okay, perfect. Okay,
So
keep going, honey.
an, another thing that I was going to actually say is that um, I have been with my husband for 32 years.
Mm-hmm,
I don't bash my husband's family. If
mm-hmm,
my husband have something, whatever's going on in his family, I am here to talk it out with him. But I would never get in front of his family and bash his family. And he's not going to bash mine. But the fact that Tisha sat there quietly most times and allowed Marceau to bash KeKe, it's baffling to me. And Courtney felt so bad at the way Marceau was down and dogging out KeKe, and that Tisha just sitting there like taking his side. That's not your family, bruh. That's her family. So if the issue should have been with her, and I'm gonna say this is something I've been thinking about with Marceau and Maurice.
mm-hmm.
I think they're both cheating, and I think they're making whoever they're messing with sign NDAs because I think they're having them to sign NDAs because we know they're cheating, but no one is coming out and saying anything. And even Candy said her and Todd signed NDAs. I think whoever they're messing with is signing NDAs so they can't come out and say anything. He's an attorney, so they can get an NDA from, they'll have him already. So, and he knows that whatever he's doing is not going to come out because, like Melanie said, we do know he's doing it. We just can't prove that he's doing it. And he feel it's like he's pumping his chest like they'll never know. They can just keep assuming it and they'll never know. So that situation with that, I think that everybody kind of needs to let that go because at this point, eventually it's going to come out. It's just not going to come out right now. So that's kind of how I felt about that. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so that situation, I really felt bad for Courtney, her cousin. Her and Stormy was the only one. Courtney wanted to cry. And at the same time, if you look at the scene, Courtney didn't even look at Tisha. She couldn't even look at her.
When
She kept,
there was one point
she,
where she literally like rolled her eyes, she was just like, am I really watching this? Like I could feel her, like she was tired of Marcel. She was
yes,
tired.
she was. She
Yeah.
was. But you know what? I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let somebody else come up because I know everybody probably just as hot as I was about the show. Um,
Okay.
Martell, I don't even want to talk about Martell, but at the same point is, I'm going to say this about Letitia.
Okay.
Letitia, that marriage is not going to last. And I'm not saying this just because of the show. I'm saying this realistically because honestly, even if you go back to the good book, it says, God says, you put nobody before me. And that woman has Marceau at the top of the pedestal. Like if he doesn't say it or if he doesn't breathe it, then she can't live without it. And for you to allow him to treat you the way he treats you and attack your family, Diana, I feel sorry. I don't really feel sorry for Tisha. I
Mhm.
don't talk bad about people's children, marriages, financials, or whatever. But
Let
I
me
really do feel sorry for Tisha because you have that man above, the good Lord up above. You believe and breathe everything that he says. And I really feel sorry for her because she's going to hit a very hard bottom dealing with Marceau because that's
yeah.
crazy.
One of the things that Melody said is everybody has had these conversations with Tisha, and that's not where she's at. She doesn't want to hear it. And her point was, and that's fine. That's her husband. She should believe whoever she wants to believe. But the bottom line is, this is why I liked what we saw this episode. They were having real conversations. They're cast members who's gone through some really tough moments with each other, and now they're in a place, maybe not all of them, but now some of them are in a place where they said, I'm checking in, I'm gonna clock in, I'm clocking out. Okay. If you could get $30,000 for 7 days worth of work, I'd clock in and out too. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, clock in, get your 30, get your 20, whatever it is. When people say, and that's not enough, it may not be enough uh, for, a year or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, for 7 days, that's plenty. That's plenty. You put that in a damn retirement account and you'll be fine. That's money that you give to your children. That's money. That's how you set up legacy. 20,000 easy dollars. Let it be. So I appreciate you, Gail.
But Diana, I want to say one more thing.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And then I'm gonna go. I want to say this. I wonder how Tisha feel being in a hot seat. Since Mel have been in a hot seat for all these past seasons, I wonder how she feels now that she's in a hot seat. I
Mhm.
wonder how she feels that people are talking about her the way she spoke about Mel. And then another thing that I'm gonna say really fast, like Marceau said tonight, is that she was on the Crime Stoppers because she was stealing. Okay, so is Destiny on drugs? Because we all saw her on Crime Stoppers the other day too for forging her husband's name. So how you gonna spin that narrative? So I just want to say that.
Well, you've said plenty. Okay. I appreciate
Alrighty.
you. I hope that you come back. Thank you, Miss Gail.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. All right, Ty, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
I hear you great. First, before you start, what do you rate the episode?
A five,
A
4.3.
4.3, child. Okay, so you did not like it. That gives me a good idea of what we're in for. So go ahead, share your thoughts, your feelings.
First of
What
all,
scene first?
I just want to say this. Hold on before we get to that.
Okay.
Listen, it was water, not acid, not bleach, not nothing that was gonna burn Tisha eyes out. I need everybody to relax. It was a cup of water.
Yes.
Everybody have an opinion about things, but nobody can say how they would react if they were feeling the way that KeKe was feeling with her family member that she's been dealing with before we came on the scene.
Facts. This is edited for our entertainment. We don't see everything, correct?
Right. So, with that being said, I heard you say they was having a real conversation. I called this episode putting 20 on 10.
Oh,
That's what I call it.
okay.
I don't want to listen to three misogynistic men having an issue with Stormy calling Marceau a B. He act like B, he gonna be addressed like a B. Okay?
Okay. Well, they're going to have that conversation. You know they were going to have that conversation.
Okay. I don't care for it. I don't care. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Nothing. None of y'all.
Okay.
Martell, you dog Mel out on national TV. Marcel, you still dogging Tisha out. And Maurice, come on. I don't want to hear no conversations from them. Where is Dr. Francis at?
He's gotten the boot.
They don't want Dr. Francis because Dr. Francis gave him the real.
That's what he said.
Nah, I didn't like, my own personal opinion, I didn't like, I didn't appreciate Mel kind of like getting on KeKe about that water, right?
Oh, then she has to talk to her and says, hey, girl, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's remember when we went to our nail house and you broke one of her heirlooms around there.
I said that the other day.
Glass. Could have cut Nell, could have cut Nell's husband, could have cut Martell. But we felt you though. We felt you. We rolled with that action too.
A family heirloom. She took that. I'm telling you, Nell looked around like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere, child.
And, you know, as far as you saying they were having conversations, what they literally was doing from my perspective was bashing KeKe.
Patricia, I'm going to mute you. I had to mute you. Sorry about that. Everybody make sure that you're muted if you're on the panel. That way we can have everybody heard. So go ahead, Ty. Sorry about that.
No, what I was saying was about, I lost my train of thought. I forgot.
We were talking about Melody. You said you didn't like that she had that little speech with KeKe saying you shouldn't have threw.
Yeah, because Mel went through that. Martell, you know, he said something smart out of his mouth, but did it really warrant her throwing a glass object towards him?
Well, you ain't got to ask me. We're not robots. That's my personal opinion. Right. Yes, you know, you have stages in life where
I don't want nobody to be acting like they're so mightier than thou that nobody never made a mistake or had that point in their life where they was just upset and didn't really think first and just reacted. Mm-hmm. You know, however, KeKe did apologize for the throwing of the water, but don't beat her down with it now. It's not that serious because it was water, okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't our fault Tisha had that cut up t-shirt on out there. Mm-hmm.
She didn't expect it, and at the end of the day, everything happened the way it was going to happen. She threw the water, people got angry, and they escorted her ass out of there. Okay, that's how that works.
Okay, I didn't like the shoving with Kimmy, mm-hmm. You know, because you acting like you take. See Kimmy doing that, so when she go back and tell her side of the story, yeah, you know, I had to push her out the way. I can see that. But I also want to point out too, when that Jeep came back there, where was Tisha at? Because Kimmy called somebody from way over the side of the yard, mm-hmm. And hopped in the car and rolled off. Where was Tisha at?
I don't know.
The same one who said she wanted to get her a new truck or SUV or something prior. Mm-hmm. So would they competing now?
When weren't they? Tisha competes with everybody.
Yeah, that's why she's stuck where she at right now. And as far as the drug test, mm-hmm. If KeKe don't feel a way about it, and if that's a way to shut down the rumors, do it. Who did that? What was her name? Not Doctor. Dang.
Who?
Over there on Married to Medicine.
Someone took a drug test on Married to Medicine? Oh, you're talking about Mariah.
Yes. She did that. They didn't even want to look at hers.
That's right.
They were scared to look at it.
That's right. I remember when she took it and they wouldn't look at it, especially Dr. Jackie. I was like, what's going on about
here?
Dr. Jackie when she was like, I'm not in it. I'm not doing it. And then
night
the
to night in it.
husband who read the results and said, not only has she never, not only was she not on it, she's never done it, because this is such an extensive drug test that it's gone back like 20 years. It's something he said to let us know that she never did it. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I felt bad.
Okay.
Mhm.
And this is another thing. Everybody's saying Marceau taking up for Tisha. Listen, when Miss Wanda first came on there, season 1 Wanda, everybody loved season 1 Wanda. She was calling Marceau out left and right. Right?
Child, wasn't she? Facts.
Marceau is all about division. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Divide her and her family so she can only have to rely on him. That way he gonna keep her right where she at.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure he had a hand, a bigger hand in making sure Wanda stay off the show behind the scenes.
Who
He
did?
didn't want Wanda on that show neither.
You think Marceau did?
Marceau had a hand in that.
No, that was all Melody and Martell. Now they
Listen,
talked about it.
He didn't fight for her to stay.
Well, he ain't supposed to. Wait, remember in the last scene, he says to Wanda, they actually play it out, and he said, if we have anything going on, you can be with us, but we're not doing any more group. You can't be a part of any of the group. Anything.
Of course,
And then he tried to hug her, and she said, get your damn hands off me.
Yeah, because Wanda was like really on his ass. He didn't like that. So then here KeKe come with some. See, KeKe is not Wanda. KeKe a little, she a little smarter. She a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely want to cut the head off, over there. He don't want that type of energy. So he gonna rally with his wife
Mm-hmm.
for this moment here.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was crying the other day, he didn't really give two. He didn't even care.
I know. You're right. I have 1,008 of you.
All right, so let me go.
And 390. Hit the like button. Keep hitting it. Hey, thank you, Ty. You're amazing. I appreciate you for coming up and
All right,
supporting
I'll
me on
talk
the
to you later.
channel.
Y'all have a good night, panel. I'll be down in the comments. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have to ask you guys a question because I see a lot of questions about production. Do you feel that KeKe looked bad in the episode? I might not be the only person who don't. I look at people having a human experience. We're not robots. Shit happens sometimes. I saw it from both sides. I actually said in my last review, I saw KeKe hurt in that scene, and I also saw Tisha when KeKe got all that information out and said, this is you being, she pointed her, you check that one because he's the problem. Tisha was also hurt because she knows everybody thinks that Marceau is out there hoeing. She said in this episode, these rumors have been running rampant for the last 5 years. The last 5 years of production is what she was saying. However, according to, the party that Melody had, the pajama party, KeKe confirmed those rumors were out there before this show ever even started. You're just looking for people to blame at this point. But if you guys thought that production made KeKe look bad, I'm just asking, go ahead and put a 3 in the chat if you think that KeKe looked totally fine. She just had a bad moment, and that this may just be, it played out the way it would have played out in any normal family. Then put a 7 in the chat. So if you think that KeKe came off okay, she just had a human experience, 7. If you feel she looked bad, put a 3. Okay. So I see a lot of 3s. Okay. Look like mostly 3s. I'm not even in the chat. Well, let me get in the chat. I'm going to put a 7. I think KeKe had a human experience. She had a human experience that resulted in her getting escorted from the house. Okay, I see more 7s. That resulted in her getting escorted from the house. I like that they let Melody and Stormy go out and talk to her before she left. I think that her being teary-eyed at the end showed that she was hurt, maybe a little remorseful that she went there. However, she felt like, listen, I'm tired of the bullshit. I feel like they're always coming for me, and I'm really trying to be okay. Okay, now it looks like might be even with the 7s and the 3s. So anywho, my bad. Let's talk to Justice. See what you got to say, chick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Welcome to the panel, child. It's been a while since I've seen you, but I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, I'll be listening. I'll just be listening. But
Okay.
this really bothered me a little bit, so that's why I came up. I
Okay.
think if they're going to, and I feel this way because Melody is a producer,
Okay.
and if she was wearing her producer hat while she was talking to KeKe, I think it should have been done off camera, behind the scenes. Hey, rumor is blah blah blah, for the sake of the show, would you take a test and do that? But I also feel like if she was doing it as a friend, then every one of them, very few of them, I wouldn't give a test to.
Okay.
Tisha has already been arrested for drugs. Let's test her. And but more than that, let's ask her to take a lie detector test. Have your husband ever, or have you ever known him to
Mm-hmm.
commit adultery? And then we could ask Mel. She need to take a test too. Have you given Martell a pass with the P tape, or is it really in the works?
Okay.
And then we can ask Martell, uh, what are you doing about your mother's house? Are you or your brother the cause of your mother losing her home? And did Carlos King save her house the original first time? And we can ask Kimmy. I mean, every one of them need to take a test if we're going to impose that upon KeKe. We can ask Kimmy, are you still performing out of obligation, or are you really healed now that you can engage in sexual activity with this perverted husband of yours? So every one of them can line up and take a test if it's imposed upon KeKe. And I think that was very, to me, that's just to me, insulting. To
Okay.
me, it was insulting because
You
now you're
feel
saying, because now you're saying that you may doubt me. The only friend I have here, you may doubt me just by what you say. We have to be careful with our words because if I'm in a strange place, KeKe is the new one on the block, surrounded by my enemies, and all I have is one. And that one asked me a question that could even make me think you don't believe in me. That's hurtful.
okay. And I'm gonna ask you, Miss Justice, what do you think of KeKe saying? Because you brought up things that never were on the show, right? So you're bringing up some conversations that we've seen on maybe other people's platforms, and you're bringing it to this particular conversation. So I'm going to say to you, KeKe has said repeatedly, I'm not on drugs.
Right.
I will take a test. I don't care what you guys think. I am, I'm in rehab. She said that she continued her rehab. How can I put this? That was her choice to continue rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Rehab has said you can go, you're fine, and she said no, I want to continue. So
Yeah.
she shared all of these things with us, letting us know that she's completely comfortable in her sobriety. Why don't you think you did just explain, but is it also fair if you're sharing it wherever you can that you're okay in your sobriety, that I can ask you to take a test if you
No, but you're not really asking Miss Diana. She's not being asked to take a test. That is something that a friend can ask you on their own. Hey, why don't you take a test? And
but
then
what
we can spring it, and then we can spring it on them at the next time we get together and show them something. But she asked her on national TV in response to something that she reacted to, which is being pushed in a corner, continually being poked. And so you asked her this. So it wasn't
so
uh
I'll say this, Justice, and I totally get what you're saying, but we also we keep as an audience saying that we want real moments from them. But in that moment, she was doing what was real for her in front of
exactly.
the camera. And
Mhm.
just in the same way she said, I'm bringing the story about my ex-husband having affairs and a outside baby. And there's a whole lot of things that we probably, as an audience, feel like, ooh, that's a private moment. But it's also reality TV. There's a camera there.
Yeah,
So
but I'm
she's
not saying that she didn't have to ask her. I guess I'm trying to say that there's multiple ways to look at this. You
Mhm.
can look at it as one friend speaking to another.
Okay.
Okay, great. You could also look at it as a producer asking a question that the show needs to know the answer to. You
Okay.
could also look at it as Melanie asking her a question about something that is personal and private, but yet uh, there
I
are
can.
questions that we could ask her that are personal and private. So there are multiple ways to look at this.
Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, I just muted you, Cassandra. Or yeah, Cassandra, if you could hit the mute button and then we'll let everybody talk, and when it's your turn, you can unmute. Okay, sorry about that, honey. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I was just saying there's multiple ways to look at it, but I'm bringing about a way to me. For me, this is my opinion. I'm
Okay.
looking at it for the first time as though, oh gosh, and I'm putting myself in KeKe's shoes and saying, I wonder how she feels hearing a question like that asked, because she shouldn't have to prove that to anyone except her hiring people, which is Mel, if she's in a producer's role, or Carlos, or Own, or something like that. But if Melanie or anyone else is going to say, prove you not doing it, and it's not required in her contract, and it's not required for the good of the show, when we're talking about something that's for interaction between family members or whatever, then everybody need to prove something. That's what I say. Prove that the P tape is being taken care of, that it's being an investigation, that charges have been filed. Prove all this. Prove something. But it shouldn't just be her to have to prove her sobriety. I don't think that's right.
Okay. I listen, you are entitled to your opinion. I appreciate you coming up and giving it. I understand that this could definitely trigger people differently. And a lot of people probably share your sentiments. So I appreciate you coming up and saying that. Is there another scene that you wanted to talk about?
The only thing that really made this a good show for me was Courtney.
Courtney?
When he said he's messing with my wife, and I don't play that. What
Okay.
man have you heard on this show since it's been on to take a stand for his woman and mean it? There you go.
Okay. So I'm assuming you rank this episode low, Miss Justice, because I didn't ask you what you rank it.
No, I didn't rank it low. I ranked it, well, it might be low if everybody else running with tens, but I ranked it a 7.
A 7. You good?
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good ranking. Okay, I appreciate you. I hope that you stick around and listen to everybody else's opinion. And this is great conversation, y'all. We are talking about stuff that may make some people uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, when we get all of our opinions out there, we might have a change of heart about some things. We don't know, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Yes,
always.
ma'am. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
You made the statement that I'm bringing something from the other platform. This didn't come from other platform. This came from different seasons that I was speaking on. I wasn't speaking from any other platform except the show itself. When I said about, have you seen your husband or thought of or know any time that he committed adultery?
No, ma'am.
Or,
I'm
I
talking
didn't bring,
You mentioned the Revenge P, which has never been on the show. No one's ever had that conversation about Revenge P on the show. That's what I was talking about. So the
oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying.
P, I meant platform, like we've pulled it from someplace else. That
Oh,
has never been discussed as a part of the dialogue on the show. Okay.
okay. That one issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
just that and I started by saying this because we do go to other channels, or we listen to the actual star of the show.
Yeah,
That
well, I listened to Melanie about that. I heard that from her.
Right.
And originally it started with this, straight chasers and all that stuff. But I was listening to her about taking care of business, things are under works and blah, blah, blah. But it's still been under works a long time.
Okay. And I hear you. I actually have tuned out to some of those conversations, and I've said this before, just because once I'm carrying it personally, I'm pretty much done.
I hear you.
I have to, save room for my problems and my
Yes,
things.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
I do just want to say I appreciate you always, just so you
Thank
know.
you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you too.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so let's see who else we have up. I think it's Tanya. Hey, Tanya, welcome back.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome.
I give it a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. What's your thoughts?
Um, okay, a couple of things. Kimmy got on my nerves how excited she got about a Jeep that's rented and now is no longer in service with her.
Okay.
So that's one.
Okay.
And then two, when Martell touched Melody's shoulder, she could have died in her seat. That
Okay.
was laughable.
This episode. Yes, I think. Did you?
And then
Okay.
yeah, so that was real funny because she looked like you know how you pause and you can't believe somebody put their goddamn hands on you. But
Right.
it is what it is. And then okay, let's go. What I didn't like is that Tisha sat there and Courtney was like pleading with Marcel to let it go. Stop saying what you're saying. You don't have to say that. And Tisha sat there like she was stuck and frozen. And I'm like, Tisha, in my mind, like, Tisha, say something. Because she didn't let it have to drag on and they sat around and had like this kumbaya about her being a junkie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has no proof. Nobody sat with this girl when she did whatever she was doing. And I
Mm-hmm.
just think that part was sad. As a family, yeah, we're not getting along, but we ain't got to get to the gutter with it.
Mm-hmm. If
So I
anyone's
thought that was a
having,
little.
sorry about that. 1 second. If anyone's having problems with their chat moving too fast, please refresh your page, your cell phone, your computer, because that's probably what it is. Because it is fine on my side. Okay. I need everyone to mute up so we can have Miss Tanya speak, and then we'll get to you, and it'll be okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Miss Tanya.
Okay, so like I said, the whole thing with the family issue, I think that should have just been done with family. And
Oh,
I don't even mean Kimmy and Maurice. I think that should have been Tisha, Marcel, and Courtney because Courtney was seeming to really defend Kiki's honor in that moment.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then remember Melody got up and left. At
She
some
did.
point in time before it got too deep, she got up and left.
She
But
did.
before she left, Tisha did say that she loves Kiki husband. They were friends, that she really respects him and everything. And then when she got in front of Kiki, she couldn't believe that they were saying he was saying Tisha don't like him. Like that was shocking to Mel. As
Right.
far as I didn't take it when Mel asked Kiki about taking the test,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at two things. One, let's shut them down. Let's prove them wrong. And then the other thing, which people are not saying when they come up and they speak to you, is that Kiki said before the show finished and was off, she said, if you want me to take a test, producers, then let him take a lie detector test.
Yeah.
So it was all about production. Production had Melody to do that. Like sometimes, like you said, you got to go and you got to check in. Some things gonna be okay, and some things is not. I
What
don't
you
think Kiki
said.
was mad at Mel
They
for
are
it. I think
editing
it
a
took
story.
yeah, the way it was edited. I think it took about a little surprise that she said, I got one with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she was okay with taking one because she always kept saying, that she would take one, that she's not on drugs and this and this and that.
Correct.
Okay. With the part with Martell and Fletcher and Courtney at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
This is my problem with that. I want Courtney to stop talking about it and actually just grab him. I don't want him to punch him and beat him up bad, but just grab him. Don't
Mm-hmm.
say nothing else to my wife. If I'm not present, don't talk, don't breathe, don't look. It's like she don't even exist. Just to put a little in it. I really
Mm-hmm.
want that to happen. I feel like Nell and her husband, they want to be famous. They have the money, they have the money because they have good jobs and businesses, but they want to be famous. They want to be known to the world. So to me, them being on the show is really not a good look. I think it's going to make them look kind of bad in the end because they seem very messy.
Nell and Chris.
It just seems, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And what else I want to say? One more thing. I wanted to say Mel looked cute though when she turned that corner. She always bringing a gift. She knows when you enter somebody's home, bring something, whether it's a gallon of water, something. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was cool. And I think Stormy got very emotional because if you are friends or have a family member that has been on any kind of substance abuse, it's hard. You don't want to see them like that. You don't want to see them destroy their life. So I think when Marcel was really going in for the gusto. Say on drugs, just kept being a buffoon. It just made her feel some kind of way,
I do. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was a decent show. Like I said, I give it a 7.5, almost an 8.
Almost
And
an
just hopefully next week be a 9 or 10.
I think that they're doing a good job, and I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna have you drop down because I have 2 other people up, but you are welcome anytime. Thank you, Tanya.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, thank you for having me up.
Hey, girl.
I rate the episode a 5.
Okay. I need everyone to mic up. Everyone, please put your mute, excuse me, put your mute on so we're gonna hear Courtney. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I rated a 5. I don't know. It's like for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to start off with I don't know. It's like this
Courtney, you got a
course
little feedback coming on your microphone. It's like something's knocking. Okay.
is still doing it.
Yeah, it's still doing.
Okay, I don't know. Let me
You wanna
see.
drop down and come back in? I'll bring you back up next. Uh-oh, sorry about that. Okay, let's see if she can come back. But anyway, let me ask y'all another question. The scene where, let's see, you were talking about, I think it was the scene where the guys are talking about Tisha. When Martell says to Tisha, it was her job to check Stormy and tell her, don't call my man a bitch. How did y'all feel about that scene? Did you think that Martell was right, that it should have been, because the argument that they were having at the table is that Stormy purposely was kind of bucked up. She bucked up at the at that after meeting for the expo. She brought Courtney for the sole purpose of getting Courtney and Marceau to fight. And he said that's why he just bypassed Stormy when Stormy called him a B. He says there's no reason for me to deal with her because you brought your man here to engage me. So I'm going to just beeline it straight to Courtney. Do y'all feel that that was accurate? Do y'all think that when women are having arguments or fights with men, you're having this direct argument with a man and your man is there, it's to basically get your man to jump whatever man is across from you? So is that an accurate statement by Marceau? That was the argument. So if you believe that was an accurate statement at this point, put a 4 in the chat. If you believe that it was incorrect, that if the argument was Stormy calling Marceau a B, that it should have stayed between Stormy and Marceau. Put a 8 in the chat if you think that's the case. So I see a 4. Let's see. Courtney, I can agree even though I don't see it from Martell. Okay, so some people are saying that you agree with Martell. Okay. Right now, it looks like the majority is 4s so far. 4s are having it. So people are saying that they think that they was looking for a fight, that you're basically instigating a fight between your boyfriend or husband, your partner, and whoever the woman is in a fight with. Okay, got it. Okay, let me see. Did Courtney come back up? Nope. Okay, I think your name is How Why See It TV. I'm gonna have to see your face first before I bring you up. Did I bring you up already, child? I already did. Sorry about that. Can I see your face first? How I See It TV. Okay, thank you, honey. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, bring it up to Cassandra. Courtney is back up. We're gonna do Courtney. What's up, Courtney? Let's see if I can hear you now. Courtney.
Okay, can you hear me?
I
I've
can.
changed my computer. So
Okay.
okay. So again, I said this episode was a 5 for me.
Mhm.
I wanted to start off by saying to me it's just this season it's a lot more entertaining, and I think I just want to see the whole show through. But for some reason, it's like it's still missing a mark somewhere for me.
Okay.
The show is still just missing a mark for me.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to start with the conversation with Stormy and the B word.
Okay.
So I feel like now Marcel is entitled to feel how he feels with in regards to her calling him that. But I feel like when Stormy initially said it, when we first saw her say it, she said it at the at Tiffany's gender reveal or baby reveal, and she said it in the presence of Tisha. Tisha at that point should have nipped it in the bud. Had that been my husband, I would have cut her off so quickly and let her know how disrespectful that was, and to never say something like that in my presence. By Tisha allowing it to go on, Stormy, to me, it made it seem like it was okay to say it because you never checked it. You didn't say anything. You didn't say, don't say that. Oh my gosh. You didn't say anything. You just let her say it. You just let it roll off her tongue like it was a regular word. So when she continued to say it and nobody is really checking her, what irritates me is every time they get in a group setting, then everybody has to chime in. But why can't anybody ever say anything one-on-one? Why can't you check it at the door when it happens? It always has to be the Scots. I always have to have my brother right here, my sister-in-law right here, so everybody can chime in, or my friends. It always has to be everybody got to chime in to agree with me to validate my point. And that just gets on my nerves. The Scots are taking over, and I cannot stand it.
Can't stand it.
I cannot stand
What? Remember with the first time they talked about how they would all just sit around and have these group discussions, like kind of pontificate on relationships and things like that. They are trying to bring that old, the very beginning. They gave us this premise, and I feel like they're trying to do that again. That's what I sense. So when we had that first dinner party with Melody, when Melody and Martell were married, and they were having the same type of conversation. Remember, I think it was it that they called someone a name? Oh, it was about the cheating thing, right? I remember first season, they sat at the table, and then Melody was like, what would you do if you heard that your spouse was cheating or whatever? And then Tisha was like, I'm not cool with Marcel calling me out my name. And I remember when Martell did that to you, I think that was a conversation. And she said, Melody slapped the piss out of Martell.
Right.
But I think they're trying to bring it back to that flavor of.
And I get it. It's just never objective because it's always going to be Marisa Marceau and Kimmy and Letitia versus the opposing side. If it's Stormy or if it's Mel or if it's Martell, it's going to always be them versus that one person that they're coming for. And I just think that alleviates the fairness out of the conversation because clearly they've made a pact. They're a team. It's one for all for one type deal. And it's just, I'm over it.
You're over it,
I'm over it. And it's like, I could appreciate Courtney in this. I could appreciate Courtney, the cousin. Not Stormy. I appreciate Courtney the cousin in this.
Courtney the cousin. Okay, here we go.
Because I could appreciate her input and her not just coming in and taking Tisha's side, but being an objective cousin. I could appreciate her. But again, it's like every time we're getting somebody fresh face, it's from like it's a Scots. It's somewhere in their family. And I'm over it. Okay, I just over that spiel. Okay, now I wanted to go to Mel. And before I start with Mel, I want to say, even though we're watching reality TV and, some of it's, I don't know what's entertainment, I don't know what's, all 100% real. People in your real life, even if you like them, you're not always going to agree with them. You can say, I don't agree, and you can talk about it and move on. And it's not a deal breaker.
Facts.
In this episode, I did not agree with Mel.
Okay.
Does that mean I'm not a supporter anymore? Absolutely not. I still support her. I still think highly of her. But in this episode, I did not agree with her. Okay. So springing a test is not so much of saying take the test that I have the issue with. Because, if that's what y'all feel like needs to be done, if y'all can come to an agreement or something, or the behavior is somewhat of a concern, then okay. But if you called me to find my location and you pulled up on me, we obviously had a conversation to say I'm here, was what. Don't spring no test on me, because I might have been willing to, me personally, I'm talking from my own perspective. I
Okay.
might be willing to do something, but the fact that you spring something on me, I might choose to be defiant in that moment and say no. Because you could have told me, you could have said, this is, the premise of you wanting to meet up. You could have said you had it on you and gave me some time to prepare. Don't put no camera in my face and then tell me about a test, and I don't have to. Now, on the other side of that, no one has to film with her either. If they don't feel comfortable or feel safe, then I would be okay with people saying, okay, I don't want to film with you. But it's a respect thing. Like, because KeKe has had an addiction in the past, whether it's current, in the past, we don't know. But she should not always be held to her addiction. And I'm going to keep saying that. She is a human being just like the rest of them. She is a person. She has real life issues just like everybody else. No, Marceau don't never want to talk about the cheating allegations. It's always a lie and we got to sweep it under the rug. But when it comes to somebody else, they always got to put it on the floor, put it on the forefront. No, because why is it not a requirement for everybody?
That's true. Now, you started this conversation by saying we don't know what's real, what's
right.
It's honest. Someone is making the comment. They don't believe that it was sprung. They believe that this was, manufactured.
I'm saying from what I saw. Now, we don't know because we really haven't seen the full episode. So it could be when next week, I could be completely wrong when the episode comes and it airs fully. I'm fully aware that I could be like, okay, I see where she was coming from. But what I'm seeing this week right now, I ain't like it. And I'm gonna stand on that. I don't like how it was presented. I don't even like how Mel, just being honest, I don't even like how Mel, and again, this is my reactions, my heart, and my reactions to certain things. That's not mandatory for Mel to have the same heart and reactions to what I feel. I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing and how, we all were formulating opinions based on how we were raised, what we think, I think she overextends herself to Kimmy and to Tisha, and I don't feel like the same extension is given to her. When it's them, it still feels like it's kind of with them. It still feels like it's a little bit standoffish with her, and it seems like she's actually genuinely trying to rebuild a relationship. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like whatever kind of feeling. You ain't got to check on Tisha. Tisha got her sister-in-law here, her cousins here, Tiffany. She'll be all right. I don't know. It was a 5 for me. I'm kind of like,
okay.
I want to see it through, but I do want to see the season. I want to see how it all pans out because I've been a day one. So I'm still riding because, I love Mel. I want to see how it all pans out, but
it is a tough subject matter. It's a tough subject matter, and not everybody, I'll have to say this, they are the first to cover it in the way that we're seeing it. And that's important. But I totally understand. I understand that it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Yeah. But okay. I appreciate you, Courtney. You're always welcome. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. How did we moved to Ty again. So it looked like some people jumped down. I'm going to go, if you don't mind, Ty, I'm going to go to Lady D's because I know these people have been waiting for a minute.
I want to go last anyway, please. Thank you.
Okay, girl. No problem. Hey, Pamela. Do you mind letting me see you? Okay. Okay, I'm going to put you up if you wanted to put your Abby back up. I'll put your Abby back up. Okay, thank you. And I'll bring you up. And then we are going to close it out with Ty. Okay, so the people that are on the panel right now, it's going to speak. I saw Kevin come up and then he dropped back down. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to talk to you. If you guys need to, if your chat's moving too fast, please refresh your page, and then it should even out or mellow out for you. Okay. All right. So let's see. I was going to talk to. Is this Lady D? Yep, Lady D Keys. Go ahead, Miss Lady D Keys. How are you? Welcome to the panel. And rate the show.
Ooh, okay, I'll give the show a rating of 8. I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
The only reason why I'm giving it an 8 is because of KeKe. Because KeKe is running this season.
Okay.
This second half of the season is about KeKe, unfortunately. It's not about nobody else. It's all about KeKe. And yeah, we're seeing some of Marceau's crap come out, which it needs to come out because I'm sick of him and his lying, cheating behind allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will say this, Keisha, she needs to stop with the whole merit of somebody coming after her marriage. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody coming after your marriage. It's your cousin trying to tell you what's going on behind the scenes, and you don't want to hear it
Mm-hmm.
because you want to sit up there and talk about her drug addiction, but you don't want her to talk about your marriage. Like
Mm-hmm.
she said, we all know it's marriage, but she said marriage. So we're going to talk like her, and we're going to do her. So I don't like that part about her.
Uh-huh.
I'm still happy about the dramatization of last week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm still going off of that. I'm still happy because now, like I said before, I don't condone violence. But at the same time, if you're antagonizing me and ignoring me and talking all ghetto and being all loud, Reese, we need some more cops. You don't have to do all that.
Right.
If ain't nothing going on in your life and you want to be sitting up there and letting your husband cheat on in peace, let him cheat in peace. Just say that.
Right.
That part. If you're going to let him do that, just say that. I'm letting him cheat in peace.
She
Yeah,
is.
we're going
She's saying it for the most part, for sure. We had a good day with him today. She was in every photo, every live, everything she did. So
to. If she like it, I love it.
right.
But be honest with it. Let the words come out your mouth. Don't show it behind your actions. Let it be said. Let
Right.
it. Oh, I'm letting him cheat in peace. He got my permission. I'm happy with it. As long as you happy, we happy for you. Cause
For,
at the end of the day, you the one that gotta live with him. We don't.
for sure. 100.
But it's just entertainment for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it KeKe is very entertaining. Thank you, KeKe. And then they're talking about wanting her off the show. Why would you want a person off the show who's bringing the ratings in?
Well, her storyline is hitting right now. So, listen, it's all to be evaluated at the end of the day. But right now, KeKe's storyline is the show. So we have to see how this
Exactly.
plays out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love me some KeKe. I like KeKe because she getting into that them Scots behind it. They don't like it.
Yeah. I'm very excited about next week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how she responds to Mel and also, what comes after. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then the if you're gonna do the test, just do the test. And then if you want them to take a lie detector test,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna refuse it.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna want to do that.
Yeah.
Wait, that's telling on us.
That's right. That's right.
But at the end of the day, you sitting here lying on KeKe and saying she back on drugs. And Stormy crying and Marcel going over there.
Okay.
Now I don't like Marcel. Don't get me wrong. But I was shocked that he even got his tail up and went over there because at the end of the day, the reason why he went over there was because he don't want Courtney getting in his tail and he don't want them hands being thrown on him.
And he looked like a complete and total asshole, which he's probably totally okay with. But he was
Mhm.
there. Marcel always wants to be the only one, the only person at the table that knows everything. He trumps everybody with his knowledge. And he's sitting there not knowing what journey someone else has gone through, what they've been through. And so that was an actual teachable moment.
Right. And then the last one that I want to talk about is Mr. Chris Fletcher.
Okay.
Wait, child, if that man wasn't married, them arms, that body, girl. Okay, I'm sorry now, don't cut me, girl. But your man fine, honey. Your man fine. And he had the arms out. Girl, I see you.
The
I
funniest
think
part in
you
this scene
huh?
was, I said the funniest part for me in this scene is when Martell said he might be related to Chris Fletcher. He said, "No, we don't have the same blood." By that, and he had to think of something. He went, "Well, let's start with the hair." I was like, he was basically saying, "I'm not. Don't you connect your shit to me in any kind of way." That was
Right. Now with him and Courtney, I
yeah.
mean, I could kind of see some resemblance with the head a little bit, just a little bit, not all the way, but just a little bit. Courtney ain't bad looking. Neither
It's
is
not,
Chris.
I
No,
can't say they
Chris
look
is fine.
alike, but I think that's a cute little storyline for those two to
Now,
come.
if they is related, I wouldn't be shocked. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be shocked at all.
yeah. Okay, well, thank you always, Miss Lady D's.
Thank you for having me, girl.
I appreciate
Love you.
you. Okay, listen, I want to thank Miss Dolores for blessing the channel, becoming a member. Welcome to the platform. I also want to thank, I believe your name is pronounced Mommy, for the Cash App. So thank you, honey. Okay, we are going to How You See It TV. I think this is your first time up, so welcome to the platform. Thank you. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
thank you for having me. Are you hearing me clearly?
You clearly. Welcome,
Okay.
welcome, welcome. What you rate the episode?
Uh, I don't know. Only because it was a little triggering for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because quick story. I had a family member who was unalived. I guess that's the YouTube term. Uh, because he had some mental health issues and also was struggling with substance abuse, and
Okay.
he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the people in that place, they didn't know how to deal with somebody who had mental health issues and was also on hard drugs. So I just felt like how they dealt with the conversation tonight, I don't know if production didn't step in at any point and say, listen, I get it, y'all are angry, at what KeKe just did in terms of splashing the drinks in Tisha's face, but it would be important that we also educate in this moment, because the world right now, we're suffering from an opioid crisis. We know this. And in the Black community, I think a lot of us know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody who has been addicted to some substance at one point or another. So I felt like there wasn't an educational moment at all. And also with even Kimmy and how Maurice speaks to her in terms of her chemo treatment and her getting over cancer, I also feel like it's a little insensitive and irresponsible how they've allowed that storyline to carry on in a way. And I don't know what the production company is doing, but I wish that there was a balance between, yes, we're upset, but we also need to educate in these serious moments. So for that reason, I don't know how I would rate the episode. And I'm hoping that Mel's bringing this test on KeKe, as somebody else on the panel said, I'm hopeful that there's a genuinely great reasoning behind it and both of them agree to do it, because this is reality TV. We know that things happen behind the scenes all the time. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because at this point in time, I'm not in agreement with it. But as I said, it's reality TV. They have to produce these scenes. So I'm hopeful that there's a genuinely great reasoning behind why she is going to do that. Thank you.
That. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to come up and tell that story. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Cassandra, what's up, girl? Welcome to the
Hello.
platform. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. This is my first time as well. I enjoy all your content. Love it. Love it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, I would rate this episode a 7. And there were some moments in there for me that were also triggering. I definitely did not like the way that they, basically immediately assumed that KeKe was on drugs. And then again, there was a lot of hypocrisy in the episode for me. You can't, like, Tisha, to me, you act like the worst thing in the world for someone to do to you is talk about your marriage. If your marriage is so solid, someone talking about it is not going to destroy your marriage. So I think her whole line of thinking and the way she reacts every time someone says something about her marriage is absolutely ridiculous. And even though I'm not a big fan of Stormy, this, I feel like the water tossing could have been avoided because Stormy was encouraging a side conversation. And that's what really needed to happen, because Marceau, as a man, is constantly inserting himself into women's business. And he knew exactly what he was doing when, like, you can say what you want to say, that passive aggressive behavior, the disrespect that they were showing her is upsetting. And even though Marceau's her husband, have some respect for your family member. If she didn't want to have a conversation to the side, she could have been a mature adult and said, "Hey, KeKe, I know you're upset. I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's talk about it later." She had a responsibility to also help to de-escalate the situation, but Kimmy said it best when the season where she said if she wasn't related to her, she wouldn't be her friend because she requires too much. That's the absolute truth. That's why she can't really maintain any defense when it's just her and the ladies on their own. And you're not going to tell me that Stormy doesn't have something over her, that she could let Stormy call her husband a B word. There's no reaction there. Like, there's no, like, a normal woman would not have sat there. And even when they showed that little clip where her and Stormy had a conversation after that, Stormy had to ask her, "Did you like that I said that? Were you okay?" Because even to her, your reaction is not even normal. But Mel is just giving you little tidbits about how to conduct a expo, and it's, oh my God, the world has come to the end. And at the end of the day, Marceau is the most disrespectful person on this cast. And you're trying to blow up somebody throwing water in somebody's face. If you really want to go there, Kimmy put her hands on KeKe. She had no business putting her hands on KeKe. It was not her fight. And I about had enough of her hypocrisy, trying to sound more intelligent than what she is, when really she's Kimmy's a snake. I'm done with her. She's a snake. And I love Mel, but I didn't like Mel in this episode either, because I thought she was doing too much. She was being teen too much, because number one, you and Keisha and Marceau don't even have a good relationship. It was water, for God's sake. It's not the end of the world. Okay. It didn't warrant everybody coddling Tisha.
Let me ask you. I'm glad you said that. Do you have me on something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. My voice is doubling when I speak.
Oh, let me put myself on mute while you speak.
Okay, so this is for the chat. This is for the panel too. But you guys, I notice, y'all know, if you're a YouTuber or you follow certain people on YouTube, a lot of you have said that you're a little burned out from some of the back and forth with the YouTubers, that you come to our channels to listen to us review shows, or you come up to talk about the show. So a lot of you said you were burned out by it. Y'all have been saying this for a little while, but some things escalated. One of the things that, for me, I was a little burned out that I was watching a TV show where no one was engaging. Like, we're having everybody talk about each other separately. When they did season 4, the beginning of season 6, they tried to squash the beef and say, listen, it's going to still be a slow walk to friendship if it ever gets there, but we can check, we can clock in. We can clock in and do the jobs we're supposed to do. Are y'all comfortable with watching Melody and them try to squash this beef, sit at tables together, talk to each other? If you are, I'm going to ask that you put, what number did I leave off at? A 9? Put a 9, or excuse me, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you like to see them all together filming. Put a 9 in the chat if you would like for things to go back the way it was. I don't want to see Melody talk to the skies. I don't want to see her at the same table with everybody.
I'm with the caller. I'm with the caller. She was doing team too much.
Okay. Okay. Because I would think that burns out people too, to watch them, you know, kind of fight people. So people are saying 1 right now. I see 9 saying that she'd rather just see them.
It does. I understand what you're saying, Diana. However, this is just happening. It's too soon to be talking about reuniting right now. It just happened.
Are they reuniting though? Because didn't just the last 2 episodes ago, wasn't it Nell who said to Melody, you're not even friends on social media. Y'all ain't trying to squash this shit. Didn't she say that to her? And Melody just giggled like, call it what you want. I'm checking in. So like,
right. So why is she trying to let me mute. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm getting oh sorry. Who's okay. More people are saying 1 that they like to see them together than 9s, but at some point we have to, us as the audience have to move with the show too. I'm just asking, but I understand that.
But we need Dr. Francis.
Okay, you need Dr. Francis.
We don't need them talking about it because they doing some other stuff. I don't want to hear them trying to bash somebody, make themselves look good. It's not that serious. We need some real, if you want to put that on camera, put some real stuff in there. Get some real doctors. Don't get mad because Dr. Francis is the real true alpha male around that cut.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. More people appear to have put 1 so far into the chat than 9s, but I just wanted to ask because when you said that, it popped in my brain like, okay, let me see how you guys feel about this. Okay. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Finish what you were saying.
Oh, that's okay. No, I just felt like she was, just doing too much. And I feel like, I'm a friend that's loyal. I know we're on a TV show, but KeKe needed you to be a friend because they were all against her.
Okay.
She didn't need for Mel to go and join in on the shame on KeKe train. Okay. And then it didn't come off genuine because we know you and Tisha don't even get along like that. And then I didn't like the fact that she asked her to take a drug test because does anyone ask Marceau to take a drug test? Did anybody ask Wanda the way she was walking around on that show acting like a bad out of where? And I think it's offensive. And I think again, like what Stormy's reaction is what needed to happen so they could wake up and stop acting like, people who act like they've never been around people on drugs. One caller said, we're in a Black community. And to shame KeKe, even with her drug addiction, is ridiculous because don't you live on planet Earth? There's an opioid crisis. We know that people have been getting addicted to these drugs when they go through medical procedures, famous people and not so famous people. So it's not okay for them to discuss her personal struggles on national TV, but she's not supposed to say, hey, Tisha, you got a fly on your shirt. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you know what? We'll see down the road, but it's going to end bad for Tisha because I was thinking, why are they trying to do all this community service? Why are they trying to do all of this community service all of a sudden? Well, maybe, when you go to court, when you commit a crime, and you want a lighter sentence, you could talk about how much you do for the community. Maybe that's why they're trying to do all this community service, because you guys are so not in touch with the community and the Fletchers tried to tell them that, number one, Marceau literally is sitting there insulting the very people that showed up at the expo. I'm sure everybody that came to that expo is not into general contracting. They're not into construction. Most of those people are going to be the e-commerce, the product service. So you literally insulted the very people that you claim that you're trying to help. But it's typical Marceau. Sometimes his real self slips out behind the mask, because nobody's not gonna tell me he's not a narcissist. He is. I'm not a doctor, but he is clearly demonstrating narcissistic tendencies for real, and he does need to be checked. And I'm not a person that promotes violence, but I did wish that Courtney or Amin would lay hands on him, and he would learn how to stay in a man's place and stop antagonizing women. It's sickening to me. It's abuse by proxy. He abuses his wife. He doesn't respect her. And so he has been given the liberty to disrespect and abuse every single last woman on this cast. And because everybody, especially Kimmy, she's male identified and she's a pygmy. But especially like to everything Marceau says as a joke, it's not a joke. These are like serious things that he's doing. And he needs to be put in check. And KeKe does not need to be removed from this show because she threw some water on that girl, because she needed to be checked too. And I do believe that KeKe had her best interest at heart, but she doesn't believe anything anybody else says. She just believes whatever Marceau says. So if Marceau says it's not true, it's not true. And that's all I gotta say about that. If anybody needs to go, he needs to go. Okay. He's an abuser.
Okay. I understand, child. Did you want to say anything else? I'm gonna get moving. We lost one. I don't know.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming up, Cassandra. I hope you come back. Okay. All right. The review hour. How are you, honey?
I am doing good. How about you and everybody else?
I'm great.
I want,
Mhm.
What do you rate the show? Let's start there.
well, I've been watching it in sections because I've been doing this and that tonight, so I can't rate it honestly right now.
Okay. No
But I
problem.
did want to talk about a few things, just a few. Um, with KeKe, I have compassion for KeKe. I really do.
Okay.
But in my opinion, KeKe needs to know how to read the room.
Okay.
Now, when she walked in, her cousin, she wanted to reach out and hug Letitia. She refused. That's
Mm-hmm.
your first, notice that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, she don't want to have anything to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you sit at the table. You want to get their attention. You want them to listen to what you're saying. They're ignoring you. That's your second sign. So to me, in my opinion, they treat KeKe how she feels about herself. Because if I walk in a room and I try to speak to someone and they ignore me, I can't even tell you how high my head will go up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's it.
But you remember review hour when she came in, Marceau greeted her first, and he greeted her very warmly. He said, "Hey, hola, Kiki Amin." So this whole conversation was going to be about Marceau, but he actually last episode he greeted KeKe and her husband, like dapped up Amin. KeKe hugged Jalen. So she was getting like a warm reception from everyone except for Tisha.
And I agree with you, Diana. I do agree with that. But I will also say that, okay, they decided to have some class about it, but Letitia decided not to. So once she showed you that, you can't make her listen to you. You can't. And then when I was watching that, I saw KeKe was getting very frustrated and very desperate. And I'm like, don't ever show anybody that you're desperate for their attention.
But
Ever.
KeKe's also new to the platform of reality TV because remember,
Mhm.
they all had these moments very early. They just know how to play it now. KeKe
Yeah.
is coming into and she's trying to join in into a game with expert players.
Yeah, and I can get that too. So I can understand that part too. But it's when I was watching it, it just made me so angry because I'm like, don't beg them.
Yeah,
Don't beg them, because the more you beg, the more they're going to look at you as being at the bottom
yeah,
of that pole.
yeah.
Throw your head up, get some dignity, and they will look at you that way. They will, you got to let them know you don't play me.
I just,
And I just want her to get that
she'll get it.
self-esteem.
Listen, if you get into the right environment, sometimes you can get in the right environment. You can be completely green in that environment, but she looks like she's gonna be a fast learner. You
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if anyone's ever had that experience. You go into, a job, you're the new person there. Everybody has their clicks, everybody knows what they're gonna do. You can be the one that's out the game and people can trigger you, but you have to learn. You have to learn. And she's doing that.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
But review hour, what she should not have done, Tisha, is hug Amin and not hug his wife also, because that's disrespectful. You're not gonna hug my husband and think that it's okay and not hug me, because at the end of the day, you're not touching. If you're not touching me, you definitely ain't touching my husband. And
Now,
I
I agree with that. But also, that's a story. That's something that KeKe and her husband should have discussed at a later time. Hey,
yeah.
we're a team. And of course, they're on the spot. She reached out to hug him. I don't see him refusing a hug from her at that moment. But that would be a discussion for him and KeKe to have later on that
Can I
night.
say something?
Hugged
Oh,
him.
go ahead.
Okay, so if
Mhm.
KeKe wouldn't have produced this scene, what else would we was gonna watch? Mel played Tonk.
Yep, you right about that.
What we was gonna watch? Kimmy bring out the food. What we was gonna watch? The Jeep pull up that wasn't an accident. What we was
Hey,
gonna
I'm
watch?
not taking anything away from KeKe other than I
They
just
got
to
to
see
produce a
her.
scene. We got to remember they got to produce a scene.
I
But,
understand that.
everybody feels different about it. But
Yeah.
you got triggered by that particular moment.
Yes. And like I said, I have compassion for KeKe. I'm hoping that she succeeds in what she's going through, and I know that she can do it. It just hurt me. It really hurt me. It really hurted to see her just kind of. And like you said, Diana, she's a new kid on the block, so I can
It
see
is.
where she feels that she got to try to get in to fit in. I
I'm gonna
just
tell you guys, if you don't remember, go back and watch Melody's relaunch of her skincare line when she had that event. When KeKe goes in, watch how everybody plays her except for Melody. She was the only person who spoke to her genuinely. But watch how Stormy plays her. Watch how Kimmy plays her, and the camera is catching her face, and she is in total shock. And I remember when I interviewed her and I asked, "What were you thinking?" She said, I just was not expecting that. Like, we all left that party on a good note. And she said, and Stormy and I were like, we were really hitting it off. We really clicked. So I was shocked.
What episode is that?
It's the episode of Melody's relaunch. I don't know. I think that might be season 3, but I can't say for sure. Melody's relaunch party. Kimmy's invited, Stormy, and I think just KeKe. I don't think Destiny and Tisha were allowed to come. But when KeKe gets there, Stormy and Kimmy plays the hell out of her. She goes in and she's like, "Hey, Stormy," and Stormy says something to the effect of, "I don't talk to people who do what you did to your cousin."
I remember that.
And I remember her literally just in shock. She didn't know how to play it, but she's brand new, right? She's brand new to the platform. And we know that Stormy now likes to say things to people for shock value when she first enters a room. That's just what she does. I think that's her thing now. But she says that to her and she's completely shocked. Kimmy also says something to her similar, like, you shouldn't have said what you said at the party. You were really running your mouth about Tifa's business. And I don't respect that. Like, you should have talked to her first. And KeKe pulls her aside to have a one-on-one. Listen, KeKe makes at least 500 faces in this scene because she's completely puzzled. She's completely puzzled why Kimmy's coming at her. And Kimmy never breaks. She's just keeps shooting daggers at her. And I was like, this is awesome because Kimmy is in her thing right now. I know how this show works. I'm telling you this business. You wanted to be on here. You learn how to play with the big dogs. You get the hell off. It was that type of energy.
I remember that. And with that being said, because I was thinking that Kimmy and Letitia, they really think that they are better than KeKe. But like you're saying, they're producing.
Yeah, for
things.
sure.
So they may not feel that way, but they're giving to me that they really think that they are better than KeKe. And that's why I root for her to just kind of work on that. I'm not saying that I don't know if she has, bad self-esteem. I'm just going by what I see. And I just want her to, portray that on the show. Get some self-esteem and don't let them treat you that way. You're not at the bottom. I don't care what you're going.
It's not. She for sure is not. I agree with you. She's not at the bottom. No, and I hope that she is able to stick it out, and I hope that we see her grow in the show and be who she needs to be because she's had this moment. Destiny, of course, had this moment. Tiffany is right now just in a place after 2 seasons or 3 seasons, having an evened out, energy and personality where she's giving her story. Because before she was trying to jump in on everybody else's stuff and nobody was allowing her to be in it. They were just like, girl, no, go someplace else with that. So people dogged her all the time. So I feel like KeKe's going through the same hazing period, except they're really using it a personal attack and it can trigger the audience.
Okay. I get that.
I appreciate you. Okay. And I appreciate your opinion. I love for you guys to come up and share your thoughts. So did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're awesome. Thank you, Review Hour. I know that you follow me over on Instagram and you talk to me all the time. So thank you. I appreciate you. I like when you come up.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, Ty, you get to close it out. What is your thoughts? What you came back to get something out, child. What do you want to get out?
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Well, if you hear any people in the background, I have a party going on, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say this. I want to reiterate. First of all, I want to address someone in the comments said that, some people want Mel to be bitter with the Scots. No, that's not it. We don't want her to be bitter at the Scots, but I need her to slow down, like I said, with the reuniting so fast. That's all I'm saying for me, my personal opinion. As far as one of the panelists said that it was good what happened between Marcel and Stormy because it kind of humbled him a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they also said about the B comment. Tisha didn't even flinch when Stormy said that. Right. Also, when Marcel expressed how he felt about that, Tisha's response was, but I like Stormy. So I don't think she took it too offensively that
he was called a B.
Right. However we may feel about it, I may not call somebody I'm dating. Well, okay, yeah. Well, okay, so some people may not call the people that they married to or that they dating the B word, but I've done it. We've exchanged that amongst the friend group we done had, male and female. Okay. So I don't understand why it's a big deal. it's back of the track culture. I guess that's what Marceau said. I don't know.
Back of the track culture, child. Yeah, he said that's your culture. They tried to explain it for everybody. That's normal for you. She was like, it is, and he just said, they shook on it. Don't call me that name again. Do you want to apologize? She said no, because you're too sassy. Okay.
And that he is, and that is what is called female tendencies, bitch ways. You understand me?
She said, I'm not apologizing. You're sassy.
No.
You deserved it.
Okay, to reiterate, because
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to misunderstand when I said about, KeKe throwing the water. Everybody, she was wrong for the water. Okay, look, maybe you wouldn't have done it that way, but once again, I'm going to double down, as they say. I'm going to stand on what I said. I said what I said. She needed a good old splashing. She did too much talking, too much backbiting. You want to keep on talking about KeKe's sobriety and all that. Look, if they want to have the round table discussion, Diana, they need some professional help in there. Those men are the people in that little group. They cannot counsel me or tell me anything about nothing. They couldn't even do a business expo panel.
Right now, I'm happy that we have, even though Lewis is not there anymore, he's not there as regular, but we have Courtney. I liked Lewis's voice. I'm hoping that we can get more out of Chris Fletcher's voice. So if we have 3 prick men and 3 men who are, above average, who can shut shit down, I'm ready for it.
I think Chris Fletcher is just trying to see where he can get in and fit in at. Okay. Nailed, and she kind of slid back a little bit. She doing a little more watching too. That's right. Y'all just wait a minute now.
Okay.
They was moving in too fast.
Okay,
so
girl.
That's it. That's all. And I guess I'll see you on the next live.
Okay. Diane, I have one more question for you. Have you talked about Destiny yet?
Not a whole lot. With what? With the what?
With the whole
out 2 or 3 videos about Destiny. So if you haven't seen it, you can go back and look at it. I just put out what was happening. I haven't had a
I could see if the bear did that to her, would we all be having
Destiny? We're going to talk about Destiny. I promise y'all, I'm going to put a platform up because I was thinking about something today that happened between her and Melody that I know has not been discussed. So I want to be able to talk about it and get y'all to with it. Okay. I like to really provoke y'all with thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, I'm going to shut it down because we've been on for a little while, but you guys have been absolutely amazing. Okay. So love every single one of you. Thank you guys for blessing my channel, becoming members. I'm sending the cash apps. Thank you also for hanging out in the chat and making it jump because y'all had a lot to say. And thank you to all of you who came on the panel, all of my regular panel members, and then all the new ones who came up as well. You guys really, I love y'all. I love when y'all come up and y'all share y'all opinions and y'all experiences. It's amazing. Okay. I 100% know that you are helping people out, who are just listening, who may be a little afraid to come up. Because they will send me messages on IG saying, this person's story really helped me a lot, or can you please send a message out to this one? So I appreciate every single one of you for coming up, letting me know what y'all thought of this episode. We had a lot of highs in this episode. A lot of you, had a lot to say in the comments. Again, hopefully everybody can read the chat and see what's going on. But like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and I will see you all on the next one. I got 4 reviews that I need to release. Hopefully I can get them all done tomorrow, including the official review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is our open panel discussion, but my sister and I are still going to drop an official review for the episode tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Bye-bye.